Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is David Jansen, and I hope some people tune in. I just want to share my thoughts on what's going on, and I also want to share my thoughts on what's exciting to come in arm wrestling continuing in 2025 so that we can end it as a strong year. Um, First of all, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. And I'm just going to double check and see. Just double checking here, guys, that everything is going well. Drop your thoughts in the comments as to what you all think is going on. What are the reasons for everything that's going on, and what we as fans can do to maybe help this situation um, minimize the all the negativity and expand on the good that's continuing to go. So, what I have seen a lot lately is an extreme amount of hate for Devin Larratt, and I understand that when your social media grows and you become famous, you're obviously going to have those people that love you and those people that hate you, and then it has expanded into this whole thing where people are fighting between athletes are fighting, they're ganging up and saying they don't want to participate if a certain person isn't in this organization, and then everyone's releasing different short videos and their reasons to why they don't want to be in a certain organization, even if they don't have all facts and if it's a lot to do with their feelings. And a lot of it maybe has to do with how they feel arm wrestling should be. And maybe they're not thinking of what fans want arm wrestling to be, if you guys know what I mean. Not that fans don't like what's going on in the arm wrestling world, but very likely fans, if they aren't arm wrestlers, they want to see an entertaining side of everything and not just a random matchup of where people fight in the setup and everything takes long, guys get fouled out and stuff. And so through this, many things have changed over the years. And in, I think, I don't exactly remember when, but Engen Terzi started the first East versus West shortly after KOTT 1 happened, where that was Devin Monster Michael Todd and Coach Ray, Mazahir Saidu were on that card. Larry Wheels, I think, don't know if it was Schoolboy, but there was a couple people on that card that initiated it during COVID, and then East vs. West started a week or two later, and then they just continued on. And Engen Terzi has hosted some amazing events. And for anyone to deny that and say that he doesn't love arm wrestling, I believe is completely crazy, because everyone knows Engen loves arm wrestling. At the same time, everyone knows that Engen and Devin don't get along. And what I can't exactly understand is why that's so much out there vocal on social media, and why it matters that arm wrestling can't continue the promotional side of the arm wrestling for the continuing of the next events, the Shaw Classic, Strongest Arm on Earth, and all those events similar to that. Then Baku was there, but there's been a bunch of issues with back and forth. Is it on? Isn't it on? I know they just dropped a statement. East versus West just dropped a statement today, and I think they are saying they're looking to reschedule for Baku, which is in Azerbaijan. And just because the timeline of it and everything, it doesn't look like it's going to work, which is understandable. We're 4 weeks out to the timeline. 2nd of August is when they had originally scheduled it. That's less than 4 weeks. And then 2 weeks after that is when the Shaw Classic would be going, which, or the Strongest Arm on Earth, is, I believe, I'm not sure it's the 14th or exactly when it is. If it's the 13th, I think, because it's on a Friday. I'm not exactly sure of the dates, but and hosting two large events so close together has got to be taking an incredible toll. And then getting athletes ready for both events, it's a lot easier to schedule the athletes 6 weeks out. Guys still have a bit of time to prepare. They have time to get everything in order, whatever it has to do with their work or everything and stuff. So I understand that. Now, at the end of the day, does arm wrestling need Engen Terzi? I don't know. Engen Terzi has created East versus West and brought it to the stage where it is now to some extent. Obviously, he wasn't there alone. There's Coach Ray from Voice of Arm Wrestling, Devin Larrett, many other guys that have helped him get up to there. Neil Pickup, Ryan Bowen was there at the start and then now is back. So many guys like that that have helped to bring us to the point where we're now. And now we can be nothing but grateful that Robert Baxter and now Dexter Can have also stepped in and taken charge and trying to lead us in the next steps to become even larger and a bigger sport and put us on bigger stages. And I know they have, to some extent, a slightly different mindset than Engen Terzi was very much of we have to stay in our lane, we have to do our best. And he wanted to treat the athletes with extreme respect, is what I heard every time. And I heard athletes always say that. And that is incredible for a man to do that. And he is a man of his word. He always did put the athletes first and did so much of that. And for that, people should only be grateful to him. And then leading up to whatever it was at, I don't remember if it was King of the Table 12 or 13. I don't remember exactly where it was, where him and Devin had a big fallout. And they've been back and forth over the years. I've noticed, I don't know them personally, but I've just been able to notice with how they interacted on even on videos. And when you seen other people take videos of them when they weren't so aware of that they were on camera, but you could see they weren't the best of friends, but they weren't enemies, if that makes sense. But then there were times where they seemed to be really good friends, and then other times where they they maybe didn't get along, didn't agree on everything, but yet arm wrestling continued. When Engen Terzi had some major health issues, Devin flew over there just to help promote and to make sure that East versus West continued. And we've seen that kind of respect go back and forth until now, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when the full fallout and then a bunch of athletes start pulling out, like Kalinichenko and Kamil Yablonsky. Vitaly made posts. Bunch of other guys made posts. I don't remember all their names. Um, and why they did that is weird. And it makes people come to assume that Engin Terzi leaves, a couple things go on. Yes, East versus West had extremely bad that last King East versus West. They had very bad the streaming quality and everything, but that was not something great. And then shortly after, we seen a bunch of athletes post stuff, and then they start to tear down East versus West and say negative things about it and stuff, which is extremely negative to the promotion, and I feel that's bad. But at the end of the day, what can we do to make arm wrestling better, and how can we, as fans, continue to support the athletes we want to see continue in the sport and stuff? And coming up this year, August 5th, I believe, is Propanja League. They are starting, and their season 2 is starting, which is, I'm sure, going to be incredible. If you think East vs. West is a good promotion, Propanja from India is crazy. They're, from a promotional standpoint and from viewership and everything, it's just insane what they can put on. Their season 1, which was in 2023, I believe, I think they had 33 million 32 million unique viewers on Sony television, which is insane. And they're guesstimating to have close to 60 million live or unique viewers coming up August 5th. So go tune into that. That's incredible. Also, AWE promotion and AWE Entertainment, a promotion out of Australia, are doing some incredible things in the midst of all this happening, where we were having things fall apart, athletes saying a bunch of negative stuff. AW Entertainment had a couple super matches at a large venue with a lot of um, fight fans, and it was in a big promotion that was promoting fighting, and they were able to, in the breaks and stuff, put on some super matches with a lot of fans watching. And in that, Brett Coots took 2 belts home. First of all, he defeated Lachlan Adair, and then shortly later, in the same evening, he defeated Matteo Orangi Hetamoris. First was left hand against Lachlan Adair, and then a second was right hand against Matteo Orangi Hetamoris. That is crazy to me, first of all, to do 2 matches back to back like that, and to be able to defeat them both is incredible. And that is just to say how great of an athlete he is, and how strong of a puller he is to defeat both those men. Obviously, in prior outings, we've seen him lose to guys like Richard Borman, but then also at the last East vs. West, we've seen Richard Borman defeat Wallace Dilly very convincingly, and it was incredible to see him defeat Wallace Dilly like that, even though it was a really good match and it went back and forth to a certain extent. He beat him, and he is number 1 technically in Australia, even though he comes from South Africa, and he is an athlete that I can't wait to continue to watch. And now seeing Brett Coots at AWE Entertainment beat Lachlan Adair and Matteo Rangi Hetamoris, what a stud he is. I hope he gets more, he's able to get more outings into bigger promotions, and great things happen. I would hope for that so much. Um, I know that. Give me a second here. I also know that East vs. West is currently working with England Jersey to create a contract to bring him back. And I know in a live today with Coach Ray, we seen that Dexter Tan was on, and they don't want to do reprimandable measures against any athletes that have said negative stuff, which I think goes to show you the integrity of the new owners. Like if anyone wants to question anyone's integrity of Robert Baxter and Dexter Tan, going to such measures, having people say all this stuff about them, about the organization, it's going to become a clown show and everything. And then for them not to do any reprimandable measures, I think that's just incredible. And they should be told like just how amazing they are and stuff and encouraged because that is incredible. Uh, mhm. For anyone that is tuning in or does want to tune in, please hit the like. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I just want to really grow this channel to support arm wrestling. Um, I want to just slowly share my story about why I'm arm wrestling. Drop a comment in there, give a like, give a subscribe. Let me know who you are, any questions you have, or anything. I'd love to answer. Um, want to be engaging, and I'm trying to learn this. I did talk there a bunch of stuff already, and I'd love for anyone in that is viewing to just drop a comment in. We can always chat it up. I will be ending the stream there. Thank you to everyone that tunes in. Have a great evening.